Hi everyone, good to have you. Welcome to today's class. This is A Plus Academic Resource Center where we take online tutorials for senior secondary students and undergraduates. Okay, so today's class we'll be looking at basic tools for economic analysis, and we have outlined several of them in our previous class. So today we are going to look into them in detail. Okay, so number one here we have tables. Now, what are tables? Tables are simply the orderly arrangement of data, information into rows and columns. That's simply what table is all about. When details or data or information are arranged orderly in rows and columns. For instance, we have something like this. Let's assume we have, okay, let's say price, and we have number of shoes supplied. Okay, this is a typical example of what table looks like. Okay, let's say price. Let's say we have 500 naira here. Let's say we have 300 naira. Let's say we have 200. Let's say we have 100 naira, and here we have let's say 20, 15, 10, and 5. Okay, this is a typical example of what table is all about. We have price there, we have 500 naira, number of shoes supplied 20, price 300 naira, number of shoes supplied we have 15, price 200, number of shoes supplied we have 10, and price 100 naira, number of shoes supplied we have 5. This is a typical example of what table is all about. Okay, all right, so keep this somewhere. We might use this information subsequently. Now, secondly, we're going to look at graph. Okay, now what are graphs? Graphs are diagrams showing relationship between two or more variables. Okay, now there are various kinds of or types of graph under this economic tools. Number one of it, we have the line graph. Okay, we have the line graph. Then we have the okay, let's look into line graph first before we move over to other types of graph we have. Now, under line graph, what is line graph? Line graph are used to join or connect points or connect points on the x and the y axis. When you have your x, the y axis, you use when you join points from both axes and connect them, you are likely to have what we call the line graph. Okay. Now, a typical example is this from our table, our previous table, where we have the price of 500, 300, 200, 100, and think this here. Then here we had 20, 15, 10, and 5. The previous table we had. Now, if we want to plot this, for instance, let's have something like this. Okay, this is the origin. Okay. So here we have the price, and here we have number of supplies. Okay. We're just trying to analyze what line graph is all about. Okay, here we have 500, 300, sorry. Okay, in naira. 300, 200, 100. Here we have 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, let me reduce this. Number of supplies. Okay, so when 100, when it's 100 naira, 5 shoes were supplied. Okay, that's the meeting point. Okay, when it's 200, 10 shoes were supplied. There's the meeting point. 10 and 200 meet here. When it's 300, we have 15. We have 15. This is the meeting point. When it's 500, we have 20. This is the meeting point. Okay, so connecting these points together, we have what we call a line graph. Hello, do you understand what I just did? So we're just trying to analyze what the line graph is all about. We say the line graph is connecting or joining points on either on both the x and the y axis, and that is what we just did now, using the table from our previous using the information from our table. Okay, all right, so that's that. Then the second on the graph now, the second one will be pie charts. Now on the graph, the second one will be pie charts, or you call them pie graph. Okay, now the pie chart or the pie graph. The pie chart is simply a circle that is divided into sectors or sections, such that each section or each sector is proportional to the value or to the numerical value it represents. Okay, did you get that? Let me come again. Pie chart is simply a circle that is divided into sections or sectors, such that each section or sector represents the values or degrees are assigned to each sectors or section. Okay, so each section is proportionate to the value that is attached to it. We are going to look at an example. Okay, all right, that's what pie chart is all about. Now let's look at an example to illustrate what our pie chart is all about. So let's see how we can use this information here to illustrate what pie chart is all about. This is production of various commodity in Nigeria, and this is their value in millions. Okay, rice we have 300 million, beans we have 200 million, oil we have 150 million, groundnut we have 100 million. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this off so that we can solve this. Meanwhile, I've extracted the figures here, the information on this point, so that we can see it and work with them. Okay, so let me wipe this off. So now this is how you solve for pie charts. This is how you solve for pie charts. Let's make our table. Then we have this. Then we have this. We have this. Okay? So let's have the commodities here. I hope you can see this. The commodities. We have rice. We have beans. We have groundnut. We have oil. Okay, now for rice, the price in million. Okay, here we'll have the workings in percentage. Here we have the workings in degrees. Sorry, in degrees. Okay, all right, so for rice here we have 300, right? Now let's I forget the circle for pie charts. The circle, the total circle, it's equal to 360 degrees. Circle is equal to 360 degree, right? Then for percent, when it comes to percentages, it's equal to 100%. So all sectors or all sections of the pie chart must be equal to 360 degree or 100%. I hope you got that. Okay, now for rice we have 300. So it'll be 300. We have 300 all over. The total here gave us 750. Don't forget, the total of all the values in million gave us 750 million naira. Okay, so we have 300 all over the total, which is 750 times in percentage 100 over 1. For beans we'll have 200 all over 750. Let me calm down a bit. Times 100 over 1. For groundnut oil, we have 150 all over 750 times 100 over 1. For sorry, this is groundnut, not groundnut oil, sorry, this is groundnut. Well, for oil here we have 100 over 750 times 100 over 1. I hope you can see that. Okay, when it comes to degree now, the total value of a circle is 360 degrees. Total degrees of a circle is 360. So by degrees now we have 300 all over 750 times, that we're working for rice now, times 360 over 1. For beans we have 200 all over 750 times 360 degrees over 1. Then for groundnut we have 150 all over 750 times 360 degrees over 1. For oil we have 100 all over 750 times 360 degrees over 1. Okay, now I've gone ahead to impute the values here. So I've gone ahead to impute the values in order to save time. Okay, this is how I got it: 300 over 750 times 100 over 1. That is how I got the value for all of them. So adding all the results here gave us 100%. While this one, adding all the values here, gave us 360%. So for rice we have 40 and 144 degrees. Okay, for beans we have 26.7 and 96 degree. This percent, this percent. For groundnut we have 20% and 72 degrees. Then for oil we have 13.3% and 48 degree. So these are the results for all the commodities. So let's represent these results now in our pie chart. Sorry, I'll have to wipe this part off. I'll leave this part so that we can work with our numbers. Okay? All right. So to get your sections or your sectors accurately, okay, we make use of the protractor. The protractor, that's object that's like this in your math set. It's called a protractor. We make use of this to get our angles accurately. But for the purpose of this class, and I don't have a protractor close to me here, so we are going to try a freehand sketch. Okay, this is our circle. Then for rice we have 144 degree. Okay, 144 degree will give us okay, these are midpoints. Let's say is 90. Okay, 144 minus 90 will give us 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 54. So we'll need something like this. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to do some freehand sketch here. So this will give us this is likely to give us 144 degree. Then for this should be rice, same thing as 40%. Okay, then for beans we have 96 degree. Okay, this will give us 90. This point like this is 90. So adding 6 to it will give us something like this. So let's clean this off. Okay, let's clean this off. So we have something like this as 96 degree, and that should be for beans. Okay, with same thing as 26.7%. Okay, then we have for groundnut we have 72 degree. Okay, and this one we have 48. So let's say this should be for 72 degree, and that should be for groundnut, which is same thing as groundnut, which is same thing as 20%. Then 48 degree we have 48 degree, that's for oil, and that should be 13.3%. So this is a pie chart showing the various sectors for the production of these various commodities, and these are the values in millions. Okay, so this is how we represent our information or data in a pie chart. Okay, I don't want the class to be too long. We are going to continue in our next class. Don't forget, under graph we still have the bar charts to look into. We still have the pictogram to look into. So we're going to stop here for now. We'll continue in our next class. All right, thank you. Please do not forget to like, share, and invite other people to be part of what we are doing. Again, if you don't understand any part of what we are doing here or what we just did, kindly use the comment section to ask your questions, comment on anything you want to comment on as far as this class is concerned, and I'll be more than glad to answer you. All right, see you in the next class. Thank you.